Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you are, thank you for tuning in. Clocking in from Blender Studio S, this is Somitsu. Today we'll be making this gnarly swirl effect using only geometry nodes. We'll be making letters and text swirl around on command. So, if you're interested in making cool text effects, excited about learning geometry nodes, or just simply have nothing better to watch on YouTube, thank you again for tuning in, and let's get into it. Okay, so as soon as we get into Blender, let's hop right into Geometry Nodes Layout. A to select everything, X to delete, Shift A, add a mesh plane. Using numpad 5, let's go into top orthographic view, add a new geometry node map, delete the group input, and add a string input instead. Type something like test in here. Use the strings to curve node. Pass it through and output. Okay, so today's effect is going to be swirling effect. What we're going to do is, first off, we're going to make the text swirl around each individual letter. The way we're going to do this is basically for any kind of points that are close by, we're going to rotate around a lot. And any points that are further away, we're going to rotate by little. So this is going to cause deformation in the letters. And when we animate, it looks like it's basically swirling. Okay, so let's get into it. So we want to be dealing with points since we want to deform. So the first thing we do is realize instance. So we can convert it into points and then resample. Change it to length and change the value to 0.01 for now, so we get adequate amount of points. Then we want to do a set position. The way we want to set position is basically we want to get the original position and rotate its position by using a vector rotate. Right? So plug it in like so. So the rotation that we want to make is we're looking at XY plane. So the rotation axis is Z. Let's see what happens when we add an angle right here. Right? So what's happening is basically everything is rotating around this 0, 0, 0 coordinate. That's not what we want. So we want to be able to, for each control point, to recognize where it's supposed to rotate around, right? So what we're gonna do is add a store named attribute, change it to vector and instance, call this center, and I'm going to be using this pivot point. So let's choose midpoint from this drop down, and let's see what happens when we input this into the center. So use a named attribute node, retrieve the center, and let's plug it in. And when we rotate right now, it seems like T is rotating okay, but the rest of the letters are not, right? The reason for this is each letter, when it has each letter instance, they all have their own position to start out with, right? So each of these letters are going to have its own position. And when we define a pivot, what it does is basically give us a vector from here to here. Right. So for E, it's going to be this distance. So this pivot point vector is only a relative distance from its position of origin. But what we need for this center, for vector rotate, is its absolute coordinate, not the relative coordinate. So what we have to do is add a position to this pivot and plug this value into the center, right? Like so. So now if I rotate this vector rotate, everything's rotating around its letters center, right? So now it's rotating. Okay, right now everything's rotating uniformly. That's not what we want. Like I said in the beginning, we want to rotate according to its distance. So what I'm going to do is duplicate these two, add a vector mass, change it to distance, plug it in, add a mass node, change it to multiply, then plug it in like so. Okay. So now, if I change this game value, just like that, we can start to see swirling patterns emerge. Okay. Let me kind of make it easier to see with fill curve. All right. So it's starting to swirl, but the direction that it swirls, or rather the effect of distance, is kind of opposite to what we want. We want the center to swirl around faster and the outer part to stay still. Okay, so the way we're going to accomplish this is using attribute statistic node. I'm gonna insert the result of resample to geometry, plug in the distance to attribute, and we're gonna be using this max value. Let me just move this around. Duplicate this multiply, change it to subtract, and plug in the max to the first socket and distance to the second. And using the result of subtract, I'm going to plug it into multiply. So now if I change the angle, you can see that the inner points that are closer to center are rotating faster than the outer points. Right? So this is the direction that we want. Okay, I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna duplicate the mass node, change it to divide, and divide the result of subtract by the max. So what I'm doing is essentially normalizing between the center and the furthest point of letters. So anything that is closest to the center is going to be 1, and anything that is furthest away is going to be 0. So what I can do now is multiply this center value with some kind of a angle. So I can make an effect like that, right? So now we are ready to animate. So let me add a scene time and also a map range, and plug them in like so. And let's say I want to animate from 1 second to 5 seconds, and I want the text to make 2 full rotation. Okay, so if I set it like this and animate, let it run, this is what happens, right? So from 1 second to 5 seconds, the most internal part is going to make a 2 full rotation, and it's going to deform the text, and just like that we get a swirling effect. Cool. Let's see what happens if we flip these around. So if we flip these values around, what we're going to get is a reversing effect. So swirl to text instead of text to swirl. So we can kind of play around with this as well. Okay, I'm gonna switch it back. All right, so the first pattern of making a swirl around each individual letter, that's complete. Let's say if we want to swirl every the whole text around a center of, this whole text. The way we can accomplish this is by changing what we plug into the store named attribute. So right now everything's basically centering around this calculation. If I change this to change it to realize instance, bounding box, and vector mass, add min with max, duplicate, change it to scale, and scale it by 0.5, meaning basically taking the average of min and max, which should be the center, and plug this in. Now if I animate, everything is gonna swirl around a new center, right? So we can get an effect like this. Of course, say for example, if we want to change the center position to bounding box min, we get a different effect like this. We can also change up the number of rotations. So for rotations, it's going to look like this, right? So we can play around with a lot of numbers, settings, and get a whole bunch of different effects. Okay, I'm gonna switch it back to the individual patterns and prepare for rendering. So I'm gonna add a set material, change it to default material, open up a new shader editor, and select the default. Instead of using a shader, I'm just going to use a RGB value straight up. Change it to some kind of a blue, dark bluish color. And I'm going to change the world setting, world color to more of a lighter color. And let's see it animate. All right. So if anyone's concerned about these jagged edges, we can always change the resampling rate. So the smaller the resampling, the smoother the edges are going to be. So we can change these values to make it look how we want. And yeah, just like that. Cool. Alright, so let's go over what we just made. Okay, so this is an overview. It's pretty short, simple, straightforward. Let's see what we're gonna do with what we just did from the left part. So we're just using strings to curve, and the first part is determining where we want the center of rotation to be. We can use this calculation if we want to rotate the whole text. If we want to rotate around individual, we can use this calculation, right? So these two are different. Going to the right, we just realize and resample. And using vector rotate and set position, basically we rotate according to its distance. So this is a calculation, and we just multiply it by seam time function and output. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay. All right. The effect itself, it's pretty simple. The node groups are, I don't think it's not anything complicated, but the effect is pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I think this effect is simple enough to make, yet it's stylish enough to be eye-catching. Key to making these deformation effect is to understand which domain to store attributes, such as position in, and where to use it. Some attributes get transferred over when they pass through nodes, and some do not. It can be very confusing. In any case, this has been Somitsu from Blender Studio S. Thank you again for watching.